Hi student, I am Toton Ghosh. Today I am going to discuss a poem, The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. Here you will get the utmost benefit of paraphrase, summary, analysis, theme, and at last title of the poem. I live in BARDHAMAN. If you want to learn from me, or if you want to learn from me, so you can email which has been provided in my description. Now at first I will recite the poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. Here the poet, while traveling on foot in the woods, reaches a junction where two roads diverge. Immediately he realizes that as a traveler, traveling both the roads is impossible for him. Here two roads are meant two ways of life. The woods are yellow, which means that it probably falls, and the leaves are turning yellow. Next, and B, one traveler, long I stood and looked down, one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. As it is impossible to travel both the roads, the poet stands there, trying to choose which path he is going to take. However, the poet wants to go down both paths and is thinking about it hard. He is staring down one road, trying to see where it goes. The small plants and greenery of the woods block his view. Next line. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. The phrase could mean something like as just as it is fair, as in proper, righteous and equal. But this doesn't quite apply to a road. As just as fair is an example of a simile. Then the poet decided to check the other path, because he found the other road to be less traveled and grassy one. Wanted wear is an example of personification. Next, line number 9 and 10. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. After traveling through the road, he found that both the roads are equally traveled. First he found the first road to be the more traveled one, but then he says that both the roads to be equally traveled. The as for that refers to the path being less worn. Line number 11 and 12. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Here again the poet found both the paths looking same. Perhaps he goes in the flashback. It was tough for him to recognize the real road, as in the morning he was the first person to walk on the road. He couldn't decide the right path, as no step had smashed the leaves on the roads to allow him to go for the right one. These lines are an example of imagery. Line number 13 and 15. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. The poet here saves the first road for another day. He knows way means how way leads to another and then another until you end up very far from where you started. The poet here saves the first road for another day. Then in the third, he doesn't think he will ever be able to come back and take the other path as much as he wishes he could. Line number 16, I shall be telling this with a sigh. This line is an example of the poet's failure in choosing the right path. The word sigh reflects that he is disappointed with the decision. Line number 17 to 19. Somewhere edges and edges hence. Two roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less travelled by. He accepts the fact that he is a failure in taking the right decision. Edges and edges is an example of alliteration. Perhaps he chose the less travelled one. Line number 20. And that has made all the difference. The poet took the path that no one else did, and that is what has made the difference in his life that made him successful. However, a difference could mean success or utter failure. Now I will analyze the poem. The poem The Road Not Taken is made with a rhyme scheme A B A A B. The poet in the poem decided to seize the day and expresses himself as an individual by choosing the road that was less travelled by. Moreover, the narrator's decision to choose the less travelled path shows his courage. In terms of the beauty, both paths are equally fair. The narrator only distinguishes the path from another after he has already selected one and travelled by many years through life. The Road Not Taken is one of Frost's most beloved poems and is frequently studied in high school literature classes. Now I will summarize the poem stanza by stanza. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood and looked down on as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. From the first stanza, we can understand that the poet is talking about human life and the decision we made in our life. Here the poet talks about two roads divided into two ways, and he could not travel both at the same time. When he was one traveller, the poet was sad because he could not travel both roads. From the poem, we also understand that he turned back and he saw another road as far as he could. He was thinking about this at the hardest part of human life, which represents yellow wood. Yellow wood also represents old age. Also, it can be autumn season. Then took the other as just as fair and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. Second stanza. After reading the second stanza, it may seem that Robert Frost took the other road because he might think that both roads are the same. In human life, every person has to choose the road that he or she desires. It is not easy to achieve a goal in life. Whatever the road he or she chooses, there will be difficulties in every road, but both roads are the same. The roads are covered with difficulties. Next stanza. And both morning equally lay in leaves no stop had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should even come back. This poem is full of confusion. we know that from the starting point in the second lines of the stanza, I can say that the morning of the two roads are the same and beautifully carpeted with the help of leaves. It also seems that no one has gone through this road. But Robert Frost also said that he chooses the second road and kept the first road for another day. But it was not possible for anyone to back again and choose another path. He was in a confusion. We can also see in this third stanza that he was in a great regret to close the second road. He was thinking if he had even come back and started his journey again. And this time he may choose the first road for a better life. Next stanza, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. In the last stanza, or in the fourth stanza, we can see that the poet was talking about her past life, talking about nostalgia, talking about the two roads and the decision he made to choose the road. He is talking this happily. From this last stanza, we can see that Robert Frost took the road which was less travelled by. Maybe he was a coward. That's why he chose the long road. And he was just joking by telling that. But from the last line of the stanza seems the poet may be happy for what road he chooses, and that has made all the difference with others. If you like my video, press the like icon and don't forget to comment and subscribe my channel. Thank you.